My name is Jessica Villarreal. I'm the content producer at Beyond Effects. We are a visual effects studio that focuses primarily on real-time visual effects for video games. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. So let's get started. Who am I? Like I said, I'm Jess V, the content producer at Beyond Effects. But before I came to Beyond Effects, I was an on-camera video game host for about 15 years. I covered events like E3, GDC, PAX, interviewing developers, doing gaming roundtables, guest spots on other shows, talking about video games. I also did quite a bit of cosplay back in the day, and eventually I transitioned into video game development, where my business partner and I actually opened up our own VR company and taught ourselves how to develop in the Unreal Engine, and created a few experiences in the VR field. And that sort of brings us to my next transition to here at Beyond Effects. Oh, and then last but not least, I am a proud cat mom of my Himalayan cat, Zarky, right there. If any of you have ever played PUBG, you'll notice that Zarky is a town in PUBG. That's how much I loved that game. And so these this on-camera training and best practices, I just wanted to preface this with, maybe you guys already do the things that I'm going to talk about, or you already know of the things that I'm going to talk about. But even as someone who has done this for as long as I have, I still always need to remind myself of these things and have like a little refresher. So I'm hoping you guys can pick up some cool tidbits from this. The first slide, it may seem very obvious, but introducing yourself in your live stream. I have seen many live streams where people forget to introduce themselves, maybe because they already have like an established community where people do already know them. But I feel like you should never assume that everyone in your chat knows who you are. So just a basic introduction of who you are, what your channel is, what game you're going to be playing that day is important. And I think also, no matter how long you're streaming, repeating that information throughout your stream is also a good practice to get into, because people are always going to be arriving throughout the stream. And so if you, excuse me, so you reintroducing yourself will make that newer audience feel more welcome. And I also like to tell people to be prepared, especially when you're doing something in conjunction with like a fundraiser or a charity, and just arming yourself with some important information like, what are we doing here today? Talk about the purpose of the stream. What games are you going to be playing and why? I think in this case with Queerty Games, you can talk about why Queerty Games is important to you, or why fundraising for their cause is important for you. And just communicating and giving your audience some points about why they should care, why they should tune in and watch you. Excuse me, sorry. And then I also like to tell people to have some social media handles available, whether it be about the developer, or in this case, Queerty Gamers. I personally like to have a cheat sheet for special programming like this so that I can easily reference it, because I think a lot of the public doesn't understand just how much brain power it takes to live stream, because you have to think about so many things, from your technical setup to entertaining your audience to actually playing your game. And having to remember all of that information while you're trying to do all of that at the same time can be very challenging. So I like to have a written out cheat sheet with the information above. And if you're working with, say, like a moderator or a team, it would be good to have copies for them too, because I look at moderators as sort of like these little mini producers who can clarify things in chat. If you happen to accidentally say something incorrectly, they can clarify in chat and give people the correct information if you did something on accident. And here is like an example cheat sheet that I threw together. So it has like, what is the parade-a-thon? It's got Queerty Gamers mission statement. It's got their social media handles. And then I usually put in like our chat commands or whatever my milestone goals might be. And then I have the full schedule here as well. Yeah, I think that's everything on this. Just checking. And then this next few slides are going to be like some key strategies to help with some potential roadblocks that might happen during a live stream, because maybe this has already happened to you, but awkward moments do happen. But it's the ability to recover from those awkward moments that are important. So, for example, technical difficulties can happen. And I think the best way to move forward in that is to just address it and keep going. So, for example, you can say like, "Oh, my controller's not working. Let me see if it's plugged in. Oh, maybe it's broken. Oh, hang on, I'm not getting sound through my headphones. I need to check out my settings. I swear I'm not ignoring you, chat. I just need a second to check this out." And basically narrating what it is that you're doing during your live stream so you're staying actively engaged with your chat, because all of that is content. So anything can be turned into content if you are talking through what it is that's going on. So with stuff like that, address it and keep going. Also, bad landings happen. So I am the queen of talking first, thinking later, and then those thoughts just like ruminate in my head. But when I'm live, I brush that off and keep going. And the best way that I can suggest doing that, keep going, is to have these go-to call-outs, if you will. So you can address it and be like, "Oh, actually moving on. Oh, hey, by the way, if you're just joining us, welcome to my live stream. Today, this is what I'm doing with my live stream." You could also remind people where they can follow you or your platforms or donate if you're doing the charity stream. You can talk about your channel, your streaming schedule, or where people can find more information about you, like your Discord or your website and all of that. And having this little arsenal of these go-to callouts can help fill air, but it can also snap you out of that mindset if you do feel like something awkward has happened. And just like in the previous slide that I was saying, even if you think you sound like a broken record, someone is going to be hearing that information for the first time. So it's good to have your basic callouts, your introduction, and just repeating that information throughout your slot. And speaking of, new viewers, sometimes people in chat don't talk. I know I personally, I never talk in chat, but I am listening. And so it's something to remember is, being engaged with your audience, even if they're not talking, so that anyone who does join thinks that they're coming into like a community experience already. Like they're coming to your party. It's your job as the host to make them feel welcome, is how I look at it. And even if you run out of things to talk about, say you've already gone through all your call outs, you've already introduced yourself several times, I've literally just talked about, narrated what I was doing in the video game that I was playing. Like, "Oh, what difficulty setting should I put this on? Easy, medium, hard? What do you think, chat? Oh, no one's answering. Okay, I'm just going to pick easy. Here we go." Because I feel like if you're not talking because no one else is talking, anyone new who comes in is probably going to think that not much is going on, and then you risk the potential that they might leave. And then here's some other tips. Speaking of talking a lot, in fact, I'm going to do this right now. Hang on. I need a drink of water. Okay, excuse me. Staying hydrated. We talk a lot. We're under lights. We're under pressure playing video games, especially if it's a competitive video game. We get hot. Keep some water with you. Bring some chapstick. I got my chapstick right here. And oh yeah, bring a water with a lid because I know we all have very expensive computer equipment. We don't want to knock anything over and ruin anything. And then this pro tip, this is just a personal pro tip of mine or a personal pet peeve of mine is, if you're going to eat on stream, try to uh try not to eat something that's so distracting like chips or something that makes a lot of noise. And then also, I know we're going to have we have our chat rooms available, but I always say watch for trolls. There are people out there who may try to trick you by typing something in chat that looks innocent or unassuming, but if you say it out loud, it has a foul meaning. And one thing that I like to do in that case is I like to read the sentence before I actually say it out loud because, sometimes if you just blurt things out, the next thing you know, you're wishing Seymour Butts a happy birthday when you didn't mean to. But also, if the person in chat is being cool and engaging, but their name looks questionable, I always like to maybe just pull like one part out of their name, like Seymour. Oh, Seymour says happy birthday, or happy birthday to Seymour. Thanks, Seymour. Or even if you can't find something to pick out of that name, I'll usually just like repeat the question and then answer it. But of course, this is all pending what rated your stream is. We like to keep ours PG-13, so I just watch out for things like that. And then also, don't be one either. I'm very all about uplifting and being positive, and we're here to make each other look good. And so I also just like to kind of tell people, don't be a troll either. And then this kind of talks about moderation. I think chat moderators are highly encouraged because your mods have the ability to delete or block or ban users who exhibit any kind of like bad behavior that's not permitted by you or your channel. And I want to drive home that you should never tolerate harassment or discrimination or anything disparaging about you, your channel, things that you believe in. And if you are your own mod, I would say you can just take a pause from your game and handle what you need to. And you can even call it out to your viewers if you want and let them know that you need to mod your chat. Because, like I was saying before, anything can be turned into content. So, and that brings us to the end here. Anyone have any questions? Yeah, I think in that case, that's when I usually like to talk about like what it is that I'm doing in the game. I remember I used to stream a game that that we worked on when I was still with Voyager, and I would literally talk about what color shirt that I was wearing because you could customize the color shirt. I'm like, do I want blue? Do I want red? Do I want green? And it may sound kind of like mundane to do, but walking through those moments of what you're doing, it's still a way that I was able to kind of talk and fill the air, was just describing what I was doing in the game. And so because I maybe didn't have people chatting with me, but I was running out of things to talk about, so I just described what it was that I was doing in the game. I often ask about everyone's day if I run out of things to say. Yeah, no, that's great too. Yeah, talking to your chat and having a conversation with them. Usually if there's like people in chat talking, it helps carry the conversation. I think this was a little bit more if there isn't much chat engagement, I'll usually just start describing what I'm doing in the game. But if there's like a conversation going, I try to engage with them as much as possible and have a conversation there. But there's both sides to that, I think. Or there's two ways to do it, I guess I should say.
I actually do have Just a general question. Sometimes, because in my perspective, when it comes to streaming, my chat doesn't really. I have a lot of lurkers. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody really talks in my chat, which is totally fine. I'm okay with lurkers, and so I run out of things to talk about. Um, so what if I like run out of like, oh my god, I tell people about my day, then that's all done, and then like I'm trying to narrate the game. I get so tongue tied and twisted on trying to figure out what to exactly say to a chat because I was told back in the day when I first started streaming, the first 15 seconds, even then, like the first like 10 or 5 seconds when somebody pops into your stream is like the make or break moment of when if somebody is going to stay or they're going to be like, oh, okay, this stream is boring. It's um, that type of thought sort of intimidates and gets me kind of terrified to even talk. So, what would be your best
Oh.
suggestion in overcoming that sort of anxiety?
That's a great question. I I would think if I saw someone new enter chat, I and let me know if I'm not answering the question that you asked, but if I saw someone new
Mhm.
enter chat, I would greet them. I would say, "Hey, so and so, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Are you new here?" And start asking them some questions to see if they respond back. And if they don't, there's nothing you can do about that, you know? And I think it's one of those things where it's like try your best to just keep moving forward and not worry about that there's someone watching you, because if you get in your head that way, I feel like that's what's going to hold you back from being the entertainer that you want to be. And so I would say try to engage them at first, and if they ignore you, just pretend like they're not there, but still be yourself, if that makes sense.
No, that does make sense, and you did answer my question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
We,
Thank you for asking it.
we also have a question from Austin. How do you translate your stream experience to IRL experience like GDC, DreamHack, TwitchCon, etc.?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. They are, I feel like they are two different forms of hosting, because with E3 and GDC being on camera, sometimes you have a producer there, but you are prepared with who you're going to talk to that day, what your goal is. You have like these packages, if you will, that you need to fulfill. So at 3 p.m. you're going to go talk to this booth and interview this person, and so you can sort of prepare yourself for that moment by looking things up online, or maybe maybe it's like a sequel to a game that you've already played, so you kind of have these questions already that you want to talk about with that developer. And then live streaming, it's more just about your life and you playing a game and having a conversation with your chat like your friends, as opposed to doing like an interview with a developer and trying to find out information on what it is that is going to be in that next game. So I would say that's the biggest difference. Is one feels very professional, and I don't want to say scripted, but you are more prepared versus the other live streaming where you feel like you're just hanging out and playing a game and doing what it is that you love. There just happens to be people hanging out with you watching.
Can I add to that?
Yes, please.
Oh shoot, I just realized my camera. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi,
I'm back.
Joanne.
Well, I guess I was going to ask like a clarifying question to Austin's question. When you're talking about, or when you're asking about translating stream experience to IRL experience, I guess like what specific part of the IRL experience are you curious about? Like, is it like the networking part of IRL experience, or if you're
Oh,
hosting,
yeah.
like which kind of domain of that sort of thing are you or were you more specifically looking at? Is what I'd be curious about.
Absolutely. I think a lot of confidence comes from being behind the camera, especially when you are in your own space, no matter what it be, like hosting an event. So I host a lot of events on my channel that can be very highly produced, but it's now how do I translate into IRL with those same types of events or ideas, whether that be networking, conversations, just to continue to enhance that skill set and maybe even lead into, like, I was going to even follow up with, like, how do you translate that into interview questions? Because we are so used to being more candid versus how do we be more formal and structured with that, I guess, as well.
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Jess spoke a lot to like the how does it translate in like a hosting sense. I'll throw in my 2 cents on like the
Please do.
networking part of things and maybe the interview part of things.
Let me get Tom off.
I think the from a networking standpoint, I used to be really shy and really had a hard time kind of approaching people, talking to people in general. And I think something that really helps me is, and this is going to sound like a joke, but there was a period of time where I just sort of told myself, like, you are Tony Stark, like in public scenarios, you are just playing a character. You're not yourself. You're just going to play a character, which I think is also kind of relevant to a stream environment because to an extent you are playing a bit of a character on stream. And I think kind of like being able to remove myself from the equation for a second and embody someone who doesn't have fear in a public forum or is like endlessly charming or charismatic. I think it kind of just helped me like disconnect, but not in a bad way, like in a helpful way. Like help me just take away a lot of my like fear, hesitation, those sort of things, and be able to just go up to people and interact a little bit more because I was like, well, this is what Tony Stark would do. Like he would just roll up and he wouldn't be afraid. Like it's just like a fake it till you make it type thing. I think is helpful from a like confidence and networking standpoint. And then from an interview standpoint specifically, I used to host red carpet coverage for a lot of movie premieres here in LA. And so we would often be on the red carpet interviewing the talent for the film as they came by. And something we tried to do was like come up with, if we were trying to ask like a more serious professional question, something I always like is asking people questions about a spectrum. And what I mean by that is saying like, and I'll do this with people just in social circles too, because I find it's a really good way to get people to engage rather than asking them like a question like, are you proud of your film that you made? And they're like, yes or no. You can say like, what was like the most amazing thing that happened to you on the set of making this movie, and what was the worst thing? Like doing a sort of spectrum question helps people really like think and engage a little bit more because they're like, oh, that's a really good question. I wonder what was the best thing, or oh man, I have this like amazing story of this crazy thing that happened. It was horrible and we survived it. So I really like doing that with people about like, what would you say is I have a lot of friends who are becoming parents right now, and every time I talk to them, I'm like, what's the thing that's the best part about it? What's the worst part about it? And that question is like a really good gateway into a lot of interesting answers, I think. Hopefully that helps. I think it's like a spectrum of answers for a spectrum of this question, but hopefully that is valuable in some way.
Very valuable. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Julian, for clarifying, throwing in your 2 cents. That was awesome. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. And I'll be honest, I can't think of anything off of the top of my head, but I feel like if you give me some time to think about it, I can probably come up with an answer for you and check with some other people around our studio who also have good ideas and have contributed to our live streams. So I don't know, Ray, if you want me to give an email or if you want to take like down my Instagram or something. Like I can
We're in the
try to
Discord.
find something for you. Huh?
They should be able to message you in the Discord because we're all
Oh,
in the
duh.
same-
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was going to throw in a couple ideas if so you can think.
Please do.
Buy you a little time to think. I think something you can do that's really fun that is super low, requires very little in terms of like costs or things like that, is like a kind of a small scale giveaway of something personal that that your followers would enjoy. So like as an example, there's a content creator. I don't know if anybody here is like a Magic the Gathering fan, but if this Venn diagram here overlaps and someone here is also a fan of Magic the Gathering, there's a content creator that I follow who's that I really love, and what he'll do on his Patreon for like certain celebrations or hitting certain milestones is he'll like sign a magic card and like send that out to his followers. And it's like a very like small scale. It's not doesn't require a lot of him. He can buy like an individual card and he just signs it. But like for me, I'm like I would love to get like a card with this guy's signature on it because I really like that content creator. So I think like yeah, like okay, yeah, if you make stuff, I think that's even better. Like if you do something artistic or if there's something related to the type of games that you play that you want to like buy a little piece of merch from that game and then you sign it or put your logo and sticker on. Like I think there are a lot of different ways it can manifest, but that's always like I think a really fun way to engage your audience, and it's fairly it doesn't cost you a lot upfront, but it's a fun
Yeah.
little engagement tool. So hopefully.
That's a fantastic idea. And the fact that you make stuff too, Kitten, like, oh, I feel like whoever got that would be so thrilled.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
Thanks,
is
like-
Julian.
You can go so far as like I should say you can go so far as like I think it's really cheap to print stickers. So if you have like a logo or something like
Mm.
if you're a VTuber and you have an avatar like some sort of branding or imagery associated with you or your channel, like really easy to like print a pack of 50 stickers and like you could get a piece of merch from the game and stick a sticker on it, and now they have like there's lots of different ways you could manifest it
Oh,
depending on how
yeah.
much effort you want to put in.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry, hang on. My computer's messing up. So you can find me on Instagram. It's the same as my Discord name, the Shantus, HAUNTUSE. And then Julian, if you wanted to give
Yeah, I think I'm
your
on
shout out.
I think I'm on Instagram, Twitter as AKA Julian Rose, like the flower. I guess we could just like type them in the chat, huh?
Oh yeah.
There, that's my handle. If you want to check me out there.
Yeah. And then if you want to learn more about Beyond FX, you can go to beyond-fx.com. If you're interested in learning about visual effects, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Beyond-FX as well. There's some stuff on there. There's even like a beginner's course if you're looking to learn about Unreal Engine and visual effects, starring Julian. And so you can check all that out as well. It's quite a fascinating industry. So
Our pleasure.
yeah.
We're very excited to be doing the parade clown on Friday, so we're like
Yes,
looking forward to it.
yes.
Yeah, and I appreciate you letting me oh sorry, I was just gonna say I really appreciate you letting me come on today and share some of my thoughts, and I hope it was helpful to some of you. But if you have any other questions, please reach out. I love hearing from people and having conversations, especially about video games and hosting. So like, bring them to me.
Can't wait.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye.